Father-in-law who is real bad drunk. He'll be drunk 5 times a week and he's a nasty drunk. A mother-in-law who gambles heavily, takes out loans, puts the deeds of the house down as security for a loan to go and play cards. Obligatory iced coffee from 7-Eleven. There's no other way to start your day. Michael. Wait. Maybe we'll get some fluorescent dinosaurs for in the farm. Maybe not. Well, the weather has finally broken. All that heat that had been building up, storms all night, and you know, coming from the UK, it doesn't feel quite right to say, oh, look at those lovely grey skies and that wind and that chilly rain. But literally after a few months of the Thai dry heat, and as it builds throughout April and May, and it's just heaven when it finally breaks. Like, oh, rolling thunder in the distance as well. Well, what a change in the weather. God, it's like night and day. I'm like any sort of a British man when it comes to the weather. I'm really sort of fickle with it, you know. It's like I'm never happy when you know, when it gets too hot. You think, oh my God, I wish it would cool down a bit. And then if this wind carries on, I'll be thinking, oh, I wish the sun would come out. It gets a bit hotter. Well, this is a relief after it was just so hot up until yesterday, and it was kind of hitting 41, 42. It's just, and it's not just me as a foreigner complaining about that. It's all the Thai people the same, you know, they hate it. It's just too much. So this is a real welcome, this wind and rain. It's a joy. It's a joy. We've got 3 bathrooms altogether. This is the ensuite bathroom. And then we've got another bathroom here. The reason we've got 2 bathrooms upstairs is simply because we wanted an ensuite bathroom, but then that's no good when you've got somebody staying. If you've got guests staying or friends staying in your spare bedroom, you don't want them to be coming into your ensuite in the middle of the night to use the toilet. And then we've got a 3rd bathroom here, a smaller one, which is in the kitchen, off the kitchen, sorry. Now there's not going to be a shower in here. There's just going to be a toilet and a sink. The only reason we've got this one is so that when we have family gatherings or family parties and that kind of thing, the whole evening can be kind of segregated, as it were, to downstairs. This is obviously the kitchen, this leads out into the outside area, and then the small plunge pool we've got. It just means that people don't have to be continuously going up the stairs to use the toilet, you know, and going through our private living space. We can keep it completely separate. We wanted to keep some degree of privacy. I think that's very important. When you move to Thailand as a foreigner and you have to fit in and adapt to a certain way of life in Thailand with your Thai wife or your partner, whatever it might be. And it's very different than life, certainly in the UK. It's much more family oriented, and you don't just marry your partner in Thailand, you really marry into the family as well. There are huge benefits to that. There's a real strong sense of family and community that perhaps is lacking slightly in the West. There are also pitfalls that I see. I'm only really going off of my own experience here. So if your situation is different and you can only see positives, then, you know, forgive me for that. But for me, there are times where it can be a little bit full on, and that was why we didn't want to buy land to build a house closer to the village where my wife's family live, because I don't want the in-laws just coming around constantly. You know, it has to be a balancing act for me, and that's why we chose to buy land that was around about 10 minutes drive from the village. And often throughout certain times of the year, the access is not ideal unless you've got a 4-wheel drive or a truck or something. You know, you can't just conveniently pop to our house. And that was deliberate. That's not a consequence of the place that we've chose to live. It was part of the intention, you know, it was part of the plan.
Oh my God!
We both like our privacy, and when it comes to neighbours and close family, I don't want those people forced upon me on a daily basis. I'm a bit of a miserable twat, but I like to have to seek out neighbours and family. I don't want to have to be smiling and happy for neighbours over my garden fence every single day.
Good morning! Oh, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
It's just not my cup of tea, that at all. I prefer the solitude and the peace and quiet, and that's why we bought this land where we did. It's very important to us. And it is still handy and close enough for Anna to just pop to the village to see her mum or auntie, and this kind of thing. And we've got the best of both worlds, really. I've not got any problem with family members coming around. I just don't want it happening constantly every single day. But when it does happen, it's no problem. I'll welcome it. But it means that upstairs is our space. It's not for anybody else. And downstairs is a bit more communal, if that makes sense. It's definitely something you should consider if you are a foreigner looking to move to Thailand. You need to really spend time around your partner's family just to sort of gauge the kind of people they are, because like I said, it's an integral part of the relationship. It's not just you and your partner in Thailand. It's certainly not. Now, I've been lucky because my in-laws are wonderful people, but I have met other foreigners who've struggled. They've got a father-in-law who is a real bad drunk. He'll be drunk 5 times a week, and he's a nasty drunk, Or a mother-in-law who gambles heavily and takes out loans, puts the deeds of the house down as security for a loan to go and play cards and things like that. You hear horror stories, and I know personally people who are in those situations, and so I'm thankful for the in-laws that I've got. I love them to bits. They're really lovely people, but they still can't come around every day, Buy some breakfast from somewhere. I'll see if it's not too late to buy mooping, which is very, very nice. There's a few really good places that sell it, some street vendors in Nong Bulompur, and it sells out very quickly though. If you're not there before about 8 o'clock in the morning, it's all gone. And they sell mooping, which is pork, grilled pork on a stick, and also liver, which is delicious, grilled liver. I don't know what the Thai word for that is. And also gai ping, which is grilled chicken on a stick. Everything's on a stick in Thailand, isn't it? It's delicious though.